Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome to Nice Rink Dice. Look, Last Man here. It's time for an oil change, so I'm just going to show you real quickly how to do the oil change. Nothing new here. It's not very difficult. But there's one thing that's kind of strange about changing the oil on the Zamboni right here. And I'll show you here real quick. All right, one of the first things I do is remove the fill cap right here to release the vacuum. All right, with the 14mm wrench, you're going to open up the drain plug here for the oil. All right, ready for a fucking mess? Here we go. Thank you, Zamboni. Look at that. Nice. That's why I changed the oil outside, because it gets everywhere. I tried a funnel one time, that did not work. This is where it gets interesting. I'm underneath here shifting this oil pan around because this thing moves everywhere. And with the oil being pretty hot, it came out pretty quickly. Alright, so it goes back that way. Alright, let's go ahead, while that's draining out, we'll go ahead and remove the oil filter. Alright, it's Kubota motor. The oil filter is right here. It's kind of easy to get to. You have this oil pressure switch here that gets in the way, but overall it's not as bad as the 500. Alright, I think I can get that with my hand now. Let's go ahead and make sure we wipe out some of the excess oil that came out. Put that rag right there. Got my oil filter right here. And it looks like it's got a new plastic cover on it. That's kind of cool, a little packing thing. I've never seen that in the oil filter before. Must be something new. One important thing is you gotta make sure you take this gasket out and coat it with some oil. I just dip my finger in some clean oil and just kind of go like that. Dripping oil everywhere, you know. And this gasket right here is not a two-way gasket. It goes on one way. That's also somewhat new. So make sure you get it back in there. Make sure the other gasket's not there and spin it on. After you get it hand tight, you want to go ahead and give it 3/4 of a turn. You don't want to make it too tight because it makes it that much harder to get off. Let's go ahead and put that drain oil plug cap back in and we'll fill it up with oil. Alright, let's put this plug in right here. Get through the screen, kind of hard to see. There we go. Make sure it's nice and tight, but not too tight so it's hard to get off next time. Alright, time to add some oil, then we'll have to clean up all this oil that's spilled everywhere. Alright, here we go. We're going to put the funnel in, put a towel in to minimize mess. And it's really helpful to have the tank in a full open position with the safety bar in there so you can get this big quart of oil, 5 quarts of oil in there without too much trouble. Alright, it takes a little more than 5 quarts, about a 5 1/4. So we always have this little extra one right here. There you go. We used 5W30, same brand, Napa. Always have, always will. Now I don't really do a check on the dipstick here until I run the engine for a few minutes. You gotta get oil into the oil filter. I'll run it for a few minutes, let it sit for a few minutes. I'll check the oil level, see if I need to add a little bit, then we're good to go. At this point, make a mental note. I already know the plug's in or the oil will be all over the ground. So I got the oil fill caps on, dipsticks on. Let's go ahead and run it for a few minutes, then we'll come back and check the oil level. I got the machine back inside. Let's go ahead and check the level of the oil here. Give it a nice wipe. One reason why I change oil outside because it's a little messy and I try not to get in the way of where the Zamboni drives and get oil on the ice and stuff. So if it's not raining or anything, I'll change it outside. My light here. All right, we're right about, I don't know if you can see it, but we're right at that little dot right there. So we're good to go. So usually when I change the oil on the Zamboni, I change the oil on the edger. So let's go ahead and come right over here and we'll change the oil right here. And how I do that is I get the edger on blocks right here because it's easier. And I unloosen this, yeah, I gave you the middle finger. I loosen this bolt right here and the oil will come out. Now usually I like to do it when it's hot or after I edge, so the oil comes out nice and smooth. Haven't edged yet today. Gonna change the oil, not a huge deal. No filter involved or anything, so it should be pretty straightforward. I got my channel locks right here. Let me grip the post right there and loosen this thing. There we go. After I get this cap off, I'll tip the edger towards me a little bit. That's some funky oil. Let me reposition this block right here. Or we'll give it like 15-20 minutes, let it all drain out. We'll come back and put some new oil in it. Probably be helpful if I take, there you go, if I take this, the fill plug out, not the fill plug, but the dipstick thing out, take it out, you can see it started coming out a little bit quicker. Break that vacuum. All right, it's not coming out anymore. I think we're good to go. Let's go and put this cap back on here. Now take a look at this oil. Now, like I said in the edger videos that I did way back when, that if you went by the amount of hours to change your oil, you'd be waiting a long time. If you look at this oil right here, I changed this oil no more than 3 months ago. And look how disgusting it is. And I really think it turns out this way because all the air, the moist air that gets sucked in through the carburetor somehow makes its way into the oil. I don't know, but this is pretty bad. And if you waited a year, 6 months to change this oil, kind of recommended by the manufacturer, it says about 50 hours, I think, is what they recommend to change the oil. If I waited 50 hours, I'd be waiting like a year. So definitely make sure you change your oil on your edger routinely. Don't go too long. The oil does break down and starts looking like this. There is a huge load on this engine, so keeping fresh, good oil in your engine will just save your engine and add life to it. All right, let's go ahead and do a final check here. Close around here, yeah, we're looking good. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see that. I think we're right about there. I'll do a double check. Yeah, I see it right there. We're right at that right side dot right there. So we are good to go. Let's go edge the ice. All right, so that's how you change the oil on the edger as well as the Zamboni right here. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you learned something. And like the local ice man says, stay cool.